The 10 plagues have ended, the killing of the firstborn of Egypt has happened, the Jews have left Egypt, and now, shortly afterwards, Pharaoh changes his mind and wonders what he was doing by letting the Jewish people leave. The Egyptians chase after the Jewish people, and they are finally caught up at the sea, and with the Jewish people have their sea at the back, and the Egyptians chasing them, and then the drama really begins. In this week's Parsha is Parsha BESHALACH, features one of the most dramatic events in Jewish history, and certainly in the Torah that we read of, which is the splitting of the sea, the crossing of the Jewish people across the sea, and the drowning of the Egyptians. Quite a momentous occasion and a great time to offer thanksgiving and song. In fact, this week, the Shabbos is called Shabbat Shirah, the Shabbos of song, because of the songs that Moshe and the Jewish people sing, Miriam and the Jewish women sing, and the Haftorah that we will read also on this Shabbos, which comes from Devorah, and is Devorah's song after her battle, led by herself and her general Barak. What about the sea? Was it just something that happened, that was the place where the Egyptians caught up with the Jewish people and God needed to do a miracle for them, so he split the sea? Or is there something more fundamental, that the splitting of the sea itself was essential in the liberation of the Jewish people, something that was as meant to happen as the 10 plagues in Egypt? There's a very interesting commentary in Shemot Rabbah, which is the Midrash on the book of Exodus, that asks, why are the Jewish people called Ivrim? You've heard of probably Hebrew, that the Hebrew word is Ivrit, coming from the word Aver, and in fact the word Hebrew also comes from that same word, that we are called Ivrim. Our language is called Ivrit. What does that mean? It says in Shemot Rabbah, because the word means crossers, that we are called Ivrim because we are called the crossers, the ones who cross the Red Sea. Now, if this was just a situation that had to happen for military strategic reasons, that God had to split the sea, we wouldn't necessarily find that would then become our name and emblazoned in our soul and in the name of our language. It would just be something that would be an incredible piece of history to know. So let's take a look at something that might be deeper for us to understand. In the crossing of the sea, both the narrative as well as the song makes a very big deal about the fact that we crossed on dry land, that we didn't just wade through. It wasn't like a tsunami where the water just parted and we walked through on wet sand, but that the ground itself was dry. What's the significance of that? There's so many ways to look at it. On one hand, it was a tremendous chesed of Hashem, a tremendous act of kindness, that God dried the land so that we didn't even have to have wet feet. But that takes us back to another time of something else that we say every day, and it takes us back to creation itself. Every morning in our blessings, we thank God for Rokah ha'aretz al hamayim, God who spread the earth upon the waters, that we have a place as human beings and for all of creation to exist. We can't live in the water. We need to be on dry land. So being on dry land creates a place where people can exist. The only time it happened was at creation, when God separated the water from the land and created dry land for us to be existing on. That was the creation, so that we would be prepared for Adam and Chava to live. With the splitting of the sea, we are seeing a reenactment of creation, where God, in fact, is redoing creation and making dry land a place for the Jewish people to exist. The Exodus from Egypt, in fact, is considered the birth of the Jewish people, that we are not just the birth of any other kind of a nation, but that we are a unique creation never seen before, and for that reason, there needs to be a new place for us to exist. That new place for us to exist is symbolized by the water parting, by the sea splitting, and by dry land emerging for us to exist on. When we recall every day, which we sing the Song of the Sea every day in our morning prayers, to remember that the creation of the Jewish people, the creation of you and I as Jewish people, that each of us is a new creation symbolized by the splitting of the sea. We are called the Ivrim. We are the ones who are the crossers. We cross the sea on dry land in this new place that God created for the new entity called the Jewish people. Have a wonderful Shabbos and enjoy this very dramatic conclusion to the Exodus from Egypt.